Hi guys, and welcome to the Limitless Landscapers podcast. I'm Paula and I'm here today to talk about New Year's resolutions, setting goals and everything that goes with it. I'll see you in a moment.
As the founder of the Landscapers Circle and the Limitless Landscapers podcast, I am here to help you get more money, time and freedom to make your life and business truly limitless. Through my experiences as the owner of a garden design and landscaping business and through tried and tested methods, if you want help with the marketing, managing and growing of your business, then you are in the right place. If you are a landscaper, garden designer, horticultural business or a supplier to the industry, be sure to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get back to the show.
So we're back. It's been a few weeks since we had a podcast, and that is because we had Christmas and New Year and everything in between, a little bit of a break for myself and Mia on TLC, and really we are back and it's kind of time to talk about New Year's resolutions and setting goals and everything like that in your business. Now, just because it's gone past the 1st of January doesn't mean you are in any way not in time to plan your year. So I think a common misconception is if you haven't planned your year by the 1st of January, don't bother, just wing it for the rest of the year. I'm here to say absolutely not. Let's get you planning your year, goal setting and dreaming big for the year ahead. I mean, 2021 was pretty good for the landscaping industry, to be fair, with everything going on. But 2022, I think, is going to be even better, not just on the landscaping business side, but more from enjoyment perspective, less of the pandemic talk, hopefully. So let's go through a few things that you could do and that I have done in my business. Now, first things first is to set some SMART goals. And by this, I mean specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and time sensitive. And why this is important is because I was having a group coaching call at the end of December with a few of our wonderful TLC members, and we were talking about goals for 2022, and it was off the cuff, so I didn't expect anything set in stone. It was just to try and get them thinking about what their year ahead might look like. And one thing that came up for all of them actually was that they wanted more clients, and that's great, but then we need to look at the specifics of that. So how many more clients and how much is each client worth is a more realistic view of things, and it's more trackable for you as you go through the year. Plus, it means that planning is easier because you can look at what your income to achieve this year and how many projects that has to be. And is that realistic in the time frame? We all know with landscaping that jobs can overrun. They're not always going to be a really quick job. They might be, 3-4 months long, maybe longer. So you have to really think hard on the specifics, just instead of saying, I want more clients. That's just one example. But like I say, you want more clients, it has to be measurable. So you have to think about how many clients, what they're worth, etc. Make it realistic. So that's what I mean by checking back on how many projects of that size could you realistically fit into a year. Time sensitive as well. So setting a time cap on that, which we're saying by the end of 2022. So that's a way of looking at your goals, but trying to drill down really to get more specific on things. I mean, it can be really easy just to say, I need more profit, I want more clients, I want more time off. And again, like I say, look at the SMART principles and see how you can make it more specific and more realistic, and importantly, more achievable. Now, I'm not saying you have to make it so achievable that they're really small goals. I'm saying dream big, think of the bigger goals as well, but you also have to make them achievable to you. So you need to believe that you can actually achieve the goals you set. And this all comes back to mindset. I mean, if your mind isn't in it, if your mind's not in the game, it doesn't matter what goals you set yourself. If you don't truly believe that you can achieve them, they won't happen. There's lots of information out there and lots of mindset mentors in specific that can talk through more of that. If you are a TLC member, you can go to the planning and mindset topic to get introduction to it and start planning your year. There will be a link in the show notes. So, I mean, it is about the mindset, it's about the planning, and also starting with the end in mind. You need to see where you want to be at the end of this year in order to work back and set up small actionable steps that you can realistically achieve that are going to get you further towards your goal. It's about thinking what you can do every single day to get closer to your goal for the end of the year. So not wasting your time on the stuff that isn't going to make a difference. I know there's always going to be things that crop up. It does in my businesses, in both of them. So I'm not saying ignore anything that flags up that needs your attention. But what I am thinking is keeping your goal in mind. Now you can do this through many things. You can create a vision board. You can have a screensaver of your main goals on your phone, your laptop. You've just got to keep your goals in your present mind, and that means seeing them all the time. So a lot of people will set their goals and then just leave them in a book, on a bit of paper, somewhere in the office. Now, I'm saying you need to see them every day. So whether that is visually in pictures or words, or just a screenshot of your list of goals, and you can put it as your screensaver somewhere. You need to keep seeing those goals so they're present and they're at the forefront of your mind when you're taking action every day in your business. A couple of things on that you can do is you can have a dream jar. So you can basically put your goals onto a piece of paper, so one goal per piece of paper. You put it into a jar, a box, anything really, and then every day you pick one out and you spend a couple of minutes visualising actually achieving that goal. There's lots and lots of research done on this that says it works because you are setting your mind up for success. So your mind is already believing that it can achieve something, and lots of people do it, lots of highly successful people do it, and it's just spending a couple of minutes visualising you actually achieving that particular goal. So maybe your goal is to win an award this year. So you will read that and you'll start to imagine, what is the award? Where will they be held? Who would be there? What would you be wearing? How would you be feeling? What would they be saying about you? Etc. So you really start visualising and seeing yourself in that situation actually happening. So that's one way you can start bringing your dreams to life, I suppose, in your mind. Another thing that I did last year, which is really great for an end of year reflection and seeing what you've achieved, is I set up a gratitude jar. So every week I would write things that I was grateful for and things that we'd achieved in business and personal, anything you want. I actually just put them in a little bag, and then on the 1st I emptied it all out and basically read everything that we'd done in the whole year. And it's quite eye-opening, it's quite nice because it's all positive things, and it also reminds you of what you've done over the year, what you've achieved in business, how you were feeling during the year, what things were going on for you personally in the year, and what lessons you've learned from that. So that's a really good tool. I'm doing it again this year because it was a really positive way to look back on 2021. So that's the gratitude bag, I call it. And also it's all about planning in small steps. So looking at planning your goals, but in, say, weekly, monthly, quarterly chunks. So you don't look at that big goal and think, oh my God, it's so big, I'm never going to get there, how am I going to do it? Like I say, start with the end in mind, work back, and then set your quarterly rocks, that some people call it, so quarterly goals that you want to achieve in order to achieve the big end of year goal, and then work back to monthly and weekly. A good way to do this is utilising a planner. You'll have the weekly and daily planners to keep you more accountable and, more importantly, on top of your business for the coming year. They're available to buy in the shop. Again, link will be in the show notes. But just getting stuff down out of your head on paper, making sure you've got some semblance of a plan. I don't profess to have my plans set out perfectly at the moment. I'm still working on it, as are some of my members who've asked me to chase them on the 10th of January just to see how they're getting on. So I don't profess to have my plan set in stone at the moment. I have been looking at it. I mean, this is a great time for reflection and looking back on the year, like I did with the gratitude jar, but maybe just sitting down, reflecting on the year you've had in 2021 and what lessons you've learned, what changed. So did the figures change? Did your conversion rates change? Did you take on more staff? What did you do last year in your business? And what can you learn from it? And what do you want going forward? How do you want to improve going forward? And it's just not all about the money. Maybe you want to work less. Maybe you want to spend more time at home with the family rather than on the tools, in which case you need to plan for that by planning for more staff, I'd imagine, and to take over your job, and then making sure that works from a cash flow perspective, etc. It all ties together. Now, like I said, it's new year, new start, time to change If you want to change your business, the best way is to come on board with us at the Landscaper Circle, where I can give you my time monthly at the monthly group coaching, as well as you can learn from your peers who are going through the same things as you, and you get to access all the topics such as the planning and mindset one to set you up for an amazing 2022. This year is going to be crazy for us. I've got quite a few goals in mind for both my landscaping and TLC, and I mean, it's crazy because this is the first time I've done a podcast without Charlotte, and she isn't coming back. But it's crazy and exciting, and yeah, I'm really pumped for 2022. We've got some really cool stuff coming on. If you want to get re-inspired, we did do Virtually Limitless 2.0 December, and it was a great event with some really inspirational speakers on there. If you want to access the replay, the link to purchase that replay will be in the show notes as well. So if you just want that hit of inspiration, go and get that replay, get the planner, and then join TLC, and you'll be able to set your year up perfectly for you. So that's this week. I will be live on Friday talking more on New Year's resolutions, goal setting, etc. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. No more 2-week breaks. We are back week in, week out, every Wednesday with our podcast. So I'll speak to you all soon.